चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै। नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। ॐ नमः परमहंसास्वादितचरणकमलचिन्मकरन्दाय भक्तजनमानसनिवासाय श्रीरामचन्द्राय ॐ। So let me just give that introduction once again. I was saying we finished 41st Sarga and starting 42nd Sarga. So which the story is, the main story is Ganga's Tripathaga Ganga. That is the story which Rama asked, how did Ganga become Tripathaga? Of which Akasha Ganga and Swar Ganga, the Swardhuni, that story is explained, and the how Ganga came to Bhuloka, that has to be explained, which Vishwamitra is starting to explain. And in fact, he has already told the background story for how Sagara had to perform Ashwamedha Yaga, etc. That story is finished. So Sagara's Yaga is fulfilled, I was saying. So like the Jnani, he himself has attained Atma Jnanam in the Sapta Bhumikas, but the last three, the fourth Bhumika he attains. Now 3 chapters are left of this Gangavataranam story. So like even the Jnani by Ishwarecha goes to the next 3 stages in the Sapta Bhumikas, like that apparently it seems to me that even, you know, even though Sagara's own purpose is solved, but then further those 3 stages, the 3 chapters here that we can see. So for the sake of other people, Ishvara pushes them or goads them into the other 3 stages, something like that. And I was drawing parallel to how in Mahayana Buddhism they have this concept of Bodhicitta, which is one of the primary differences between Hinayana and Mahayana Buddhism, is to develop this Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means that state of mind where you want to do nothing except, you know, serve people, so alleviate their suffering. So you, even the moksha that you seek, you only seek for alleviating people's suffering, because in your limited means you can do only limited help. So if you attain that stage, then you can do unlimited help also, and with those ideas. So it's a very, very noble state of mind, that bodhicitta. They work hard on these things. That's why you see Dalai Lama, he keeps talking a lot on compassion and things like that. It's not just for ethics sake or something like that. It is their philosophy also. To generate compassion is their most primary sadhana. And then if you develop this bodhicitta, then you attain this state of bodhisattva, etc. They have these philosophical concepts, but this working for the sake of others or alleviating other people's suffering, this is something that is unique to Mahayana Buddhism, and that is called bodhicitta state. And they take it up as a huge, that's their primary sadhana. In fact, they do whatever they do it for the sake of generating bodhicitta. So something like that, Sagara, even though Sagara himself has solved his purpose of attaining, you know, performing Ashwamedha Yaga, but for the sake of all of us, you know, he has done the further steps those people have taken in his lineage, so that we can also have Ganga. In fact, we will see that Bhagiratha will ask for, you know, so for benefit of people before him and benefit of people after him also. He's going to ask such a boon. We will see all that in this 42nd Sarga. अथ द्विचत्वारिंशः सर्गः कालधर्मं गते राम सगरे प्रकृतिजनाः राजानं रोचयामासुरं सुमन्तं सुधार्मिकम्. So Sagare Kaladharmam Gate, when Sagara Maharaja, the Chakravarti, attained Kaladharma. Kaladharma is, so he has passed away. That's the meaning. And I was saying in our culture, generally we don't say he passed away or anything like that. We say he attained Swarga, he attained Vaikuntha, or he attained Shiva Loka, something like that. We say here also very beautifully, Valmiki is telling, or Vishwamitra is telling, Sagara attained Kaladharma. And what is Kaladharma? I was just saying that there might be dharmas that are specific to us, which is, you know, based on our varna, ashrama, etc. And then some ultimate dharma that people speak about, which is humanity, which is common to all human beings. But there is some dharma which is common to people who are born, so living beings. This is common to all living beings. Like Govindaraja is very nicely explaining this term. Kala dharma means jatamatrasya kalena avashyam praptavyo dharmaha kala dharmaha maranam iti yavat. So jatamatrasya means for a person who is born, merely because he is born, he has to attain this dharma. and that is Kala Dharma, but nothing but Maranam, Mrityu. So Jatasya hi dhruvo Mrityuhu, like in Bhagavad Gita we read, if you are born, then death is inevitable. So that inevitable dharma which comes by time, that dharma this Sagara Chakravarti has attained. So being born is the reason for dying. So that we should remember. Anyway, so this is not, I might be taking time, but let me just say this. This is not pessimism or thing like that. So you should understand. So why they keep telling this Jatasihi Dhruva Murtyuhu? So in Telugu we have a saying. So what is the saying? I forgot. So something like, if you at the time when you have light, at that time itself you have to clean your house, something like that. So Paramarthananda ji used to say a story. Maybe that will take time. I will tell you some other time. So you have to set your things right when you have this human birth. So Durlabham Trayameva Itat, Shankara also says. So this is a very rare human birth that we have got, and death is lingering around. So you better hurry up and do all the dharmika things, pursuit of jnanam, these things, so that you develop a sense of urgency. For that reason, they say these things. So avashyam mrityu is lingering around and things like that. Anyway, so Sagara attained this Kala Dharma, He Rama. When this Sagara attained Kala Dharma, Prakriti Janaha Amshumantam Rajanam Rochayamasuhu. So this Prakriti Janaha means, you can take, so different people are interpreting it different ways. Prakriti Janaha, you can take it as the subjects of the kingdom, or the citizens of that kingdom, or the ministers. Prakriti Janaha, the ministers have decided who has to be the next king. So they chose Rochaya Masa means, so they desired, or they chose Amshuman to be the next king. Amshumantam Rajanam Rochaya Masa. That is, they chose, or they decided that Amshuman should be the next king. Why should they choose? So Sudharmikam, that is anyway Vishwamitra himself he is telling. So because he is a very dharmika person, they chose. But then also, so you can have two sons, both of whom are dharmikas, but this person is, so it is there, it is what should I say, Nyaya Praptatva Raichat. That's what all the Tikakaras are telling. It is the rule that this person, so they have this hierarchy and things like that. What is it called? So first in line, second in line, etc. So he was the first in line. It is the rule that he has to become the king. So therefore, those ministers also chose. So because this Rochaya Masa came, so they chose, or they desired. So here it doesn't mean they desired for any other reason. They desired because that's the right thing to do. Therefore, they desired. That's the meaning. So they chose this Amshuman to be the next king. Amshuman is the grandson of Sagara. We know that story. So this Dharmika Amshuman was chosen to be the next king. स राजा सुमहानासीद अंशुमान रघुनंदन तस्य पुत्रो महानासीद दिलीप इति विश्रुतः. So हे Raghunandana Rama, this Saharaja means that Sudharmika Amshuman, that Raja Amshuman. So Sumahan Asid Amshuman, that Amshuman Raja was Sumahan. That is, he became very famous because of his dharmika nature. He became very famous, very endearing, etc. And Tasya Putraha Mahan Asid Dileepa iti Vishrutaha. So to that Amshuman, one great Mahan Putraha Asid, to him one great son was born, Dileepa iti Vishrutaha. He is famous by the name Dileepa. So this is, what should I say? So Sagara's son was that person, Asamanjasa, who was bad by nature. So he was not allowed to be the king. He was banished. Then Asamanjasa's son was Amshumanta. Amshumanta's son is Dileepa. In fact, this Dileepa's son is going to be Bhagiratha. That we will see the story. And then this Dileepa comes in Kalidasa's Raghuvamsham also. In fact, Raghuvamsham starts with the story of Dileepa. Yudho Raskaha, Vrishaskantaha, etc. It starts like that. But that Dileepa is different. So Kalidasa follows some other Anvaya of the Anvaya means the lineage. He follows some other lineage. So here Tilakakara is also pointing out somewhere in the commentary. This Anvaya is different. This is Valmiki's Anvaya, which is the original Anvaya of Raghu kings. So Sagara, Asamanjasa, but Asamanjasa is not the king. Amshuman, then Dileepa, and then Bhagiratha, as we will see. So Tasyaha Dileepa iti Mahan Asid Putraha. So Mahan Putraha Asid Dileepa iti Vishrutaha. A great son was born to him, whose name was Dileepa. He was famous by the name Dileepa. Tasmai Rajyam Samadishya Dileepe Raghunandana Himavat Shikhare Ramye Tapastepe Sudarunam. So that Amshuman, what did he do? When this Dileepa came of age, so He Raghunandana Rama Tasmai Dileepe Rajyam Samadishya Tapastepe. So this Amshuman, he gave his kingdom to that Dileepa, and then he went to perform tapas. See here, Tasmai Dileepe, he is telling. Tasmai means Chaturthi Vibhakti, and Dileepe is Saptami Vibhakti. You cannot form like that. So it should either be Tasmai Dileepaya, or it should be tasmin dilipe it should be. So this is Tilakakara's patha. He took tasmai dilipe. So chaturthi and saptami, that does not fit in the vibhakti. So you should take it as arsha prayoga. So Panini says tasmai. So chaturthi, if you are using, then dilipaya it should be. Maybe at Valmiki's time these rules were not there, or maybe it is arsha prayoga, etc. Such things you can take. But the alternate patha is tasmin dilipe, which the other two tikakaras are telling. To that, so in that dilipa, he kind of, what should I say, he entrusted the kingdom to that dilipa. That's the meaning. So tasmai dilipe rajyam samadishya. Samadishya means he gave it to him completely, very, according to the procedure, etc. Samyak adishya, that is the meaning. So he gave that kingdom to Dilipa, that is, he made him the king, and he went away to perform tapas. Himavat shikhare ramye. So ramye himavat shikhare. So in that very captivating Himalaya peaks, he went to perform Sudarunam tapaha tepe. He went and performed some great Ghora tapas he performed. Why did he perform tapas? Because he saw firsthand. Remember, Amshuman was the person who firsthand saw the 60,000 heaps of ashes. So that was there in his memory always, that I have to do something for my ancestors. They are all his uncles only. Something has to be done. They are all lying there. They don't get Uttamagati if they are burnt by Muni, Shapa, etc. So he was moved by that scene. He was always thinking about it. As soon as a son was born to him, he entrusted the kingdom to that son, and he went and performed tapas for the sake of Ganga. द्वात्रिंशत्शतसाहस्रं वर्षाणि सुमहायशाः तपोवन गतो राजा स्वर्गं लेभे तपोधनः. So that tapodhanah Raja, that Raja Amshuman, for how many years he did that Sumahayashaha, that Amshuman of great fame, how many years he did tapas? Dvatrimshat Chata Sahasram. So Dvatrimshat Sahasram is one patha. So another patha is Dvatrimshat Shata Sahasram. So Dvatrimshat means 32 and Shata Sahasram means 100,000. So 3,200,000 years he did tapas. Varshani, that so Sumahayashaha Raja, that Raja of great Yasha. So 3,200,000 years. So Tapovana Gataha, he went to the Tapovana, Himalaya peaks, etc. and then he performed tapas. So he went to perform. So he went to that Tapovana. So tapas Pradesha, he went to that Pradesha. Therefore, what did he do? He goes there and he performs tapas, and he gained great merit, and he became Tapodhana also. And that Raja, after performing tapas for so long, so he Swargam Lebhe, he obtained Swarga. That means he passed away. That is one meaning. And the other meaning is he got Swarga all right, but he could not get Ganga on this earth. That's the meaning. So Swargam Lebhe Tapodhanaha, that Tapodhana Amshuman, he obtained Swarga. That is, he passed away and went to Swarga, but still that Ganga not coming to earth, that problem is all remaining. Dilipastu Mahateja Shrutva Paitamaham Vadham Dukkhopahataya Buddhya Nischayam Nadhyagachata. So Dilipastu Mahateja, this Dilipa, so it's not like his father went to tapas and Dilipa has made the king and he's nicely enjoying the kingdom, etc. He is also thinking. So this too means, on the other hand, this Dilipa also, Mahatejaha, this Dilipa of great brilliance, he also heard about his Pitamahas, his father's uncles. So Paitamaham Vadham Shrutva. So the death of his Pitamahas, his great grand uncles, so grand uncles, he heard about them, about their death, etc. And then Dukkhopahataya Buddhya Nischayam Nadhyagachata. So he was also overpowered by the dukkha. Something has to be done for my grand uncles, etc. So Dukkhopahataya Buddhya, by that thought, by that buddhi, which was filled with, which was devastated by the dukkha for his ancestors. So, but it was filled with such dukkha, but he could not come to any, nishchayam. So nishchayam nadhyagachata. He could not come to any means. So my father also performed such long tapas, and he was not able to figure out how else will I get Ganga. With great tapas I can get Ganga, but my father performed tapas for so long and still nothing could be done. So he was always thinking about it. What can I do? What can I do? He was thinking about that. So katham Gangavataranam katham tesham jalakriya tarayam katham chaitan iti chinta paro bhavat. So this is called, so his chinta, he is, so Maharshi Valmiki or Vishwamitra, his chinta, they are speaking out. This is called abhinaya. In Bhashyas also we see that suppose Shankara is saying that this samsari is burning in samsara, something like that. Suppose he says, then he describes how samsara will be. So this is my house, this is my wife, this is my pashu. He will think like that, he will say. So Acharya will say like that. So that is called abhinaya. That is acting out the thoughts. So here also this is called abhinaya. Tilakakara is pointing out. So Maharshi Vishwamitra, you can say, he is doing abhinaya. and this shloka is very, very nicely explained by Shiromani Kara. So what is that Dilipa thinking? He's thinking, Katham Gangavataranam, how will that Ganga come on this earth? How will it be possible? What can I do about it? Katham Gangavataranam. So you might go and tell him, why are you worried about Ganga? All that is not required. Then he'll say, he's thinking, it seems he replies back, Katham Tesham Jalakriya. Okay, I will not bring Ganga, but my ancestors are there as heaps of ashes. What will happen to them? The Jalakriya, Tarpanam, etc. How will I perform to them? Katham Tesham Jalakriya. Okay, Gangavataranam, you are saying don't think about Gangavataranam, but what will happen to their Jalakriya? So he might say so. So people might say, okay, Jalakriya, what is there? Take so somebody might say take waters from the Sarayu and perform Jalakriya. So he's telling Tarayam Katham Chetan. So Etan Katham Tarayam. So with this Sarayu water, etc., if I do Jalakriya, they will not get Swarga, etc. So this Tarayam Katham means how will I take them to the other shore? That is the meaning. That is how will I see to it that they get Uttamagatis. So if these mere waters are not required, are not sufficient, Ganga has to come. So why is he thinking about Ganga ultimately? He is also thinking because he wants to give some Uttamagatis to his ancestors. So Tarayam Kathamcha Etan. Etan means, so you should think in his mind they are around. It's not that these heaps of ashes are around in that Ayodhya Puri. So they are somewhere else, but in his mind they are always constantly there. Therefore he's saying Etan, these heaps of ashes. So these people, these Pitamahas, how will I take them to the other shore? Tarayam Katham Chetan. Katham cha etan, that is the vigraha, iti chinta paro bhavata. So Dilipa always had these thoughts, disturbing thoughts in his mind. What will I do about my ancestors, etc. So see how they are thinking about. So that person is gone. His father, so those people, those 60,000 sons of Sagaras went away. Then Sagara worried about them, Amshuman worried about them, Dilipa is worrying about them, then Bhagiratha will be worried about them. This was how India was. They say we were told a story in our school time, maybe it was there in our textbook also, of Tilak or somebody, if I don't remember exactly name. So one of them, something like that. So his father passed away with a debt on his head. So when his father passed away, he had a debt. And then back then, so the rule was, so if the person passes away with death, the debts don't accrue to the sons. But then he ensured, Tilak or whoever is that person, he became a very successful lawyer, and he ensured that whoever his father owned that money, he paid them back. So even though he did not have to, still he didn't want that tag on his father, so he paid them back, all the what should I say, all the debtors he paid them back, or creditors, whatever, whomever, debtors I think. So whomever he owes, his father owes, he paid them back. So this was the culture. Today people are asking for debt waiver, etc. Anyway, that's a different story. So this Dilipa also was worried. What will I do? How will I, serve my ancestors? How will I give them Uttama Gati, etc. He was thinking about them. तस्य चिन्तयतो नित्यं धर्मेण विदितात्मनः पुत्रो भगीरथो नाम जज्ञे परमधार्मिकः. So tasya Dilipasya, so to the Dilipa putraha jagне. So a son was born to that Dilipa. What kind of Dilipa he was? Chintayataha. So tasya chintayataha, nityam chintayataha. He was always thinking. So his father also gave up his life in tapas for bringing Ganga, and he did not, what else can I do? He was also wondering like that always. To that Dilipa who was always worrying about what should I do, to that Dilipa, Bhagiratho Nama Putraha Jagne, a son called Bhagiratha was born, and that Bhagiratha himself was Paramadharmikaha Bhagiratha, great Dharmika. And then very nicely he's giving an adjective to Dilipa. So Dharmena Viditatmanaha Tasya Dharmena Viditatmanaha. So to him who was Dharmena Viditatma, to him this Bhagiratha was born. What is this Dharmena Viditatma? So Dharmena Viditatma, they are nicely saying. Let me just read that out to you. Dharmena Viditatmanaha, 7th shloka. So Dharmena Viditatmanaha means Shiromani Kara is telling Dharmena, Dharmacharane Viditaha Prakhyataha Atma Swarupam Yasya. So his Swarupa, Atma means Swarupa, and his Swarupa was Viditatma, that is Prakhyata Atma, that is he was very famous. And how was he famous, or why was he famous? Dharmena, Dharmacharanena Viditatma, that is by the performance of dharma he gained great fame. To such a Dilipa this Bhagiratha was born. So if the father was a Paramadharmika, son also has to be Paramadharmika. So Bhagiratha also was Paramadharmika.
One question,
Sorry?
One question.
Hmm.
Can this Dharmena go with Jagnya?
Dharmena Jagni, yeah, you can say that also.
Hmm.
Dharmena Jagni.
Okay.
So Dharmena Dharma Jagni, I think it should be. Dharmena Jagni, I should check whether that is possible. So Dharmena Jagni, yeah, that also can be possible. Anyway, Dharmena Viditatmanaha tasya nityam chintayataha bhagirato nama putraha jagne paramadharmikaha putraha jagne दिलीपस्तु महातेजा यज्ञैर् बहुभिरिष्टवान् त्रिंशद् वर्ष सहस्राणि राजा राज्यम् अकारयत्. So Dilipa also Mahateja, that Dilipa of great fame, brilliance, etc. So Bahubhihi Yajnehi Ishtavan, he also performed many yajnas. Bahubhihi Yajnehi Ishtavan. Ishtavan means he performed many yajnas. How did he perform many yajnas? By many yajnas he performed yajnas. That is, he performed many yajnas. That is the way of speaking. So, and Trimshad Varsha Sahasrani Raja Rajyam Akarayat. Akarayat means Kritavan here you should take. So that Raja Dilipa Trimshat Varsha Sahasrani. So Trimshat means 30. So 30,000 years he lived by ruling those people he lived. So in Ramayana time scale, you will see all these people are living for thousands and thousands of years. In fact, Dasharatha says, I lived for 60,000 years, etc. Anyway, that is there, and Rama also. So he also does pratigna, Dashavarsha Sahasrani, Dashavarsha Shatanicha. So 11,000 years Rama lived, they say. Anyway, these stories are there. But Trimshad Varsha Sahasrani, that Raja, for 30,000 years he ruled. Rajyam Akarayat, that is, he caused to rule. That is a literal meaning, but what you should take is he ruled over that kingdom. अगत्वा निश्चयं राजा तेषाम् उद्धरणं प्रति व्याधिना नरशार्दूल कालधर्मम् उपेयिवान्. So हे Narashardula, हे Rama, he great amongst men, Rama. So Nishchayam Agatva, that Raja Nishchayam Agatva. So not having come to a solution to this problem. So Nishchayam here means solution to the problem of how to bring Ganga. So he thought about a lot, but he could not come to any solution during his lifetime. So Agatva Nishchayam. So Tesham Uddharanam Prati. So the solution to what? So solution towards the Uddharana. So to Uddharana of those people, so uplifting or giving Uttama Gatis to his ancestors. So Tesham Uddharanam. Tesham means so the Sagara Putranam Uddharanam Prati. Towards their Uddharanam, he could not come to any solution. And then Vyadhina Narashardula Karma Kala Dharmam Upeyivan. So he Narashardula. So this Raja also, he also obtained Kala Dharma. That is, he also obtained Mrityu, that is the meaning. And how did he die? Vyadhi, through a Vyadhi. And Vyadhi, all of them are explaining the Vyadhi is the mental affliction that he could not do anything for his ancestors. So with that mental affliction itself, this Dilipa also passed away. Kala Dharmam Upeyivan. Kala Dharmam Upeyivan means he obtained or he reached that Kala Dharma, that is Mrityu. Indra Lokang Gato Raja Swarjitenaiva Karmana Rajye Bhagiratham Putram Abhishitya Nararshabha. So this Nararshabha, Raja Dilipaha, Nararshabha means so best amongst people, that Raja Dilipa, what did he do? Bhagiratham Putram Abhishitya. So Bhagiratham Abhishitya, he coronated Bhagiratha as the king. Why? Because he is his son. So that is monarchy, right? So he is the eldest son also, maybe the only son, we don't know. So he coronated Bhagiratha as the son, and Swarjitenaiva Karmana, by his own merit, by his own Punya Karma. So Indra Lokang Gataha, that Raja went to Indra Loka. So by his own merit, he went to Indra Loka. Bhagirathhastu Rajarshid Dharmiko Raghunandana Anapatyo Maharajaha Maharaja Praja Kamas Sacha Prajaha Mantri Shwadhaya Tadrajyam Gangavatarane Rataha Tapodirgham Samatishtad Gokarne Raghunandana. So here Raghunandana Rama. So Raghunandana is coming twice. So Raghunandana in 11th shloka and Raghunandana in 12th shloka. Both are addressing to Rama. Here Raghunandana. This Bhagirathhastu Rajarshihi Dharmikaha. So this Bhagiratha, he also was a great Rajarshi. He was also a great Dharmika. So but then he was also Anapatyaha, and that Maharajaha. So that Maharaja Bhagiratha, he is Anapatya. Anapatya means he does not have any child. So he was childless. Therefore he was Prajakamaha. He was also desiring a child. So he was childless and he was desiring a child. But then see, he went to perform tapas. Why? For the sake of his ancestors, he is going to perform tapas. So but then he does not have children and he has to perform tapas, means somebody has to rule the kingdom, you know. So what did he do? So Rajyam. See, look at 12th verse. Rajyam and Prajascha. So Prajaha Rajyam cha. You should take this 11th, the last words in 11th shloka with that Rajyam in 12th shloka. So Prajaha Rajyancha Saha Bhagirathaha Mantrishu Adhaya. So Mantrishu Adhaya Tapaha Samatishtat. That's how you do the Anvaya. This Dilipa, he handed over Adhaya, he handed over prajaha, those citizens, and rajyam. So the ruling of the ruling and the welfare of the citizens, all of that he entrusted to those mantris. So his ministers, so Bhagiratha, so he entrusted the welfare of the citizens and the ruling administration, etc. He handed that to this mantris, and then he himself was Gangavatarane Rataha. He was intent upon somehow I have to bring in Ganga on this earth. In fact, they say Bhagiratha Prayatnam, they say that is a Prayatnam, or you put efforts in such a way that you don't give up before you attain your purpose. That is called Bhagiratha Prayatna. So he was Gangavatarane Rataha. He was, intent somehow I have to get this Ganga onto earth, I have to do. He was intent upon that, and therefore tapaha, dirgham tapaha samatishtat. So here Raghunandana, he performed dirgham tapaha, great long, for a long time he performed tapas. And where did he perform tapas? Gokarne, in Gokarna Kshetra he performed tapas. This Gokarna, Tikakaras are telling, it could either be the Gokarna that we know in southern India, that is in Maharashtra, etc. I think there is one Gokarna. Or this Gokarna also could mean some Pradesha near Himalayas. So why is he saying near Himalayas? We will see later when Brahmaji comes. He is telling there is this Ganga here. He is telling here Ganga. Brahmaji is telling here around there is Ganga. So by that maybe that's how they are saying this Gokarna is in Himalayas. So they are saying it could either be some place near Himalayas or it could be the famous place which is in southern India. So in that Gokarna Kshetra he performed tapas. How did he perform tapas? ऊर्ध्व बाहुः पंचतपा मासाहारो जितेन्द्रियः तस्य वर्षसहस्राणि घोरे तपसि तिष्ठतः अतीतानि महाबाहो तस्य राज्ञो महात्मनः. So tasya, so so how did he perform his tapas? That so dirgham tapaha samatishtat. How was that tapas performed? Urdhva bahuhu, that he was urdhva bahu. Urdhva bahu means you lift your hand and do tapas. So it seems I have seen long back some documentary on this what is that called, the Kumbh Mela. So there are some people who are called Urdhva Bahu, whatever, Munis, Rishis, whatever. So those Urdhva Bahu people, always one hand they will keep up only, and all lifetime they will be like that. At least for 12 years they do that tapas, just you lift your hand in the sky and stay. So that is Urdhva Bahu. So there are, maybe, I mean, I don't know whether it's the same kind of Urdhva Bahu that they are talking about here, but he did tapas Urdhva Bahu. So in movies, etc., they show he will do tapas like this, putting hands on top. So Urdhva Bahu, Panchatapa. So Panchatapa means 5 Agnis he had. So Panchatapaha means, so he was being burnt. So tapas actually means to be burning, So the tapa shabda has that burning kind of meaning. So he is Panchatapa, he is burning himself by 5 fires. What is that? So on 4 directions you have 4 fires, and on top of you there is sun. So from 5 directions you are scorched by heat. And then Masaharaha. Masaharaha means he eats only once a month. So when does he eat once a month? Is it on first day or middle or last day or when? So Masante. So Tikakaras are telling Masaharaha means end of the month he will eat something. So like that. So Jitendriyaha, he had great control over his senses. In that way he performed some great tapas. So like that. So Tasya Varsha Sahasrani Ghore tapasi tishtataha atitani. So tasya ghore tapasi tishtataha. So of him who was engaged in this ghora tapas. So what kind of tapas that was? We saw Urdhva Bahu, etc. That kind of ghora tapas he was performing. And of that Bhagiratha Varsha Sahasrani, 1000 years, atitani passed. So he performed tapas for 1000 years. So atitani. Hey Mahabaho, hey Rama. Mahabaho means somebody who has long arms. About Rama they say he's Ajanu Bahu, etc. So Rama's arms come up to shoulders. So today we might think arms coming up to shoulders. In fact, if you see somebody like that whose arms come up to shoulders, it might even look, very odd. But then in Rama's case, it seems it was a mark of beauty, etc. Or it can mean he had such long arms, and that is being described as though they reach up to his knees. That is the meaning of Ajanu Bahu. Janu means knees. So Ajanu Bahu means bahus are as though protruding up to the knees. That's the meaning. He had long arms. Anyway, hey Mahabaho. Mahabaho is also used as an epithet to say he was a great archer, etc. So hey Rama. So 1000 years passed away like that. Tasya Rajnyaha, Mahatmanaha Rajnyaha. So Varsha Sahasrani Atitani. So of that Bhagiratha king, 1000 years of that king Bhagiratha passed. And then what happened? Suprito Bhagavan Brahma Prajanam Prabhu Ishvaraha Tatasura Ganai Sardham Upagamiya Pitamaha Bhagiratham Mahatmanam tapyamanam atha bravit. So supritaha bhagavan brahma, so that brahmaji bhagavan, supritaha bhagavan means sarva samarthya vishishtaha, he has this capability to do or grant anything. That kind of brahmaji supritaha, he was very happy, very pleased by Bhagiratha's tapas. And this brahmaji is also prajanam prabhu, he is the lord of all the living beings. And then ishwaraha, this ishwaraha is actually Ish, and Vara means best. So Ish means, so Ishavasyam in that word. I think I told this earlier. So Ishavasyam, there Acharya writes very beautiful commentary on the word Ish. So Ishte, the eat, etc. he explains. So Tena Isha Vasyam, etc. he says there. So Ish means, so Ishita, somebody who rules. So Ishwaraha means the best amongst rulers. That is the meaning, literal meaning of Ishwara. So Ishita itself means somebody who rules over. So eat, Ishita, etc. So Ishwaraha means the best amongst rulers. This Brahmaji is Ishwaraha. Tataha, so Tataha, this thereafter, so after 1,000 years have passed away, this Brahmaji, who was very pleased by Bhagiratha's tapas, Suraganaihi Sardham Upagamya Pitamaha, that Pitamaha Brahmaji, along with Suragana. So Suraganaihi Sardham means, so along with, that's the meaning. Suraganaihi Sardham Upagamya, having reached there to Bhagiratha's tapas place, Bhagiratham Mahatmanam Tapyamanam Atha Bravit. So Tapyamanam Mahatmanam Bhagiratham Atha Bravit. So to that Bhagiratha, Mahatma Bhagiratha, who was great tapas, to him Atha Bravit. So he said the following words. So Atha, so Atha, somebody was posting about it also recently, Atha. So there is no direct sense to say Atha means now, etc. But Atha in a Mangalarthaka, now, thereafter, etc. Such meanings are there. So Atha Bravit, always I've been telling this earlier also, Shiromani Kara, whenever this Atha comes, Atha Bravit, etc., he says, so he uttered so very auspicious words, etc. So this Brahmaji uttered these auspicious words to that, what should I say, Bhagiratha. What did he say? Bhagiratha Maharaja Pritasteham Janadhipa Tapasacha Sutaptena Varamvaraya Subrata. So he Bhagiratha Maharaja, he Maharaja Bhagiratha, so te tapasa, so te sutaptena tapasa aham pritaha. So by your well performed tapas, I am pleased. Te sutaptena tapasa aham pritaha. That is, by your well performed tapas, I am pleased. So he Janadhipa. Janadhipa also means king. So ruler of people. That is the meaning of Janadhipa. So therefore, Varam Varaya Suvrata. Suvrata, he is addressing him as Suvrata. That is, somebody who has performed great Vrata. For 1,000 years he was staying like that, Urdhvabahu, etc. So Suvrata, Varam Varaya, you ask for a boon. So Varam Varaya Suvrata. What is he saying now? Tamuvacha Mahateja Sarvaloka Pitamaham Bhagiratho Mahabahu Kritanjali Putasthitaha. So tam means that Pitamaham Uvacha, he, that Bhagiratha spoke. What kind of Bhagiratha? So Mahateja, that so Bhagiratha, who was filled with that great Tejas, Tapashakti, he was filled with, and he Sarvaloka Pitamaham Uvacha, he told the following words to that Sarvaloka Pitamaha, the Pitamaha or grandfather of the entire universe. By the Pitamaha of entire universe, so you can take it that way, because Kashyapa Prajapati Santana is the entire, living beings, etc. And Kashyapa is one of the Brahma Manasa Putras, therefore he is Sarvaloka Pitamaha. So that Sarvaloka Pitamaham Uvacha, this Bhagiratha spoke the following words, Bhagiratha Mahabahu Uvacha, Mahabahu. So you can say Mahabahu here because he has performed great tapas, therefore he is adept in doing things that he decides to do. Also that kind of Bhagiratha. So Kritanjali Putaha Sthitaha. Just when I am reading this verse just now, it struck me, why did he have to say so much, So why did Valmiki have to write one full shloka for just saying that he spoke the following words? So the gist, the reason why Valmiki or Vishwamitra said this verse, so just say that he asked for a boon, they wrote a verse. Why? Because Kritanjali Putaha Sthitaha, with great humility. It's not that I have performed tapas, so I deserve a boon, and you have come, it is your duty to give me a boon, etc. No. With great humility, Kritanjali Putaha Sthitaha. So he's standing, it is Anjali Puta, this is called, so Anjali Mudra. So with great humility, he is asking Brahmaji, even though he has performed great tapas, still with great humility, he is asking Brahmaji for this para. What is he saying? Yadi me Bhagavan Prito Yadyasti Tapasah Phalam Sagarasya Atmaja Sarve Mattas Salilamapnyuhu. So I have to tell something here, that is about Tattvavedantaji. He is a great lover of Ramayana. He keeps telling that always. In fact, he is so So personally, he likes Rama a lot. He says people call him for temple, Kumbhabhishekam, etc. He never goes. But if somebody says this is for a Rama Mandira, so if somebody is calling for a Ramalaya, then he will definitely go. That is his kind of love, his way of expressing love for Sri Rama. And he is a great lover of Ramayana also. Why am I telling you? I will tell you all that. So he told me once that is the entire Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, with all the three Vyakhyas that I am consulting now. So the three Vyakhyas he has read from beginning till end. He has read the complete Ramayana, he told me. And then once this what should I say, this context came, Yadi Veda Pramanam Chet. So this there in Kumarila Bhatta's story they say. So it seems so some king, I don't remember the details of the story. So that Kumarila Bhatta was a Vaidika, obviously the Vaidika Shikhamani in fact. So that local king was a Buddhist, etc. And he said, you prove to me the Vedas are Pramana. So what did Kumarila Bhatta do? He jumped from a mountain, but before jumping or something, he says, Yadi Vedas Pramanam. So if Vedas are Pramanam, then may I not be hurt. That is, may I survive this cliff, mountain fall, etc. And then the story say, because he said Yadi Vedas Pramanam, that is, if Vedas are Pramana, he had a doubt if he used, therefore he lost his sight or something like that, they say the story is. So that because of some slight doubt, Vedamata punished him, something like that. But then Swamiji referred to the story once and told me, people say like that, but it is not correct. This Yadi Veda Pramanam there, it is not a doubt. So when you are, very sure about things also, you use that Prayoga is there. And he was asking me, there is some shloka like this in Ramayana, do you remember? And then somehow I could not remember. This is not a very famous sarga or anything. So I told him some other famous shloka. So Dharmatma Satyasandhascha Ramo Dasharathir Yadi. So that there also Yadi. If Rama is Dharmatma at all, etc. This shloka by Lakshmana, I told you long back. So this verse I told him, he said, no, that verse is there. But there is some other verse he was not able to recollect and says there the commentator says this Yadi is used here in that verse. And there it is not in doubt, but in, confidence also you use Yadi. It is exactly the place where Swamiji referred that day. This evening when I was reading the Vyakhya, it struck me. So here, so Yadyasti Ityadi Asandigdhe Sandigdhavachanam. So Asandigdhe Sandigdhavachanam. Sandigdhavachanam means, so a statement of doubt, but it appears to be a statement of doubt, but it is used in confidence. So Asandigdhe Sandigdhavachanam, this is used. And then Tilakakara is giving the example. Vedas chet pramanam syuhu itivat. So Vedas chet pramanam syuhu, like that. So like how Kumarila Bhatta's statement is there, Vedas chet pramanam syuhu, like that you should take this also. Bhagiratha is not doubting whether his tapas has that potency, etc. He's telling, because my tapas has this potency, you have to grant me this boon. So but then so asandigdhe sandigdhavachanam, you should take it properly here. So he's telling, Yadime Bhagavan Pritaha Yadyasti tapasah phalam. So hey Bhagavan, Yadime Pritaha, if you are, pleased by my tapas. So Yadime Pritaha means if you have some, if you are pleased with me. That is, if I mind you here, if is a statement of confidence. So because you are pleased with me, you should take it that way. Yadime Bhagavan Pritaha Yadyasti tapasah phalam. So if there is some phalam for my tapas, that is, if my tapas, like you are saying, is well performed, etc., then it should have a phalam. So if at all there is a phalam for my tapas, then Sagarasya Atmaja Sarve Mattaha Salilam Apnyuhu. So if at all my tapas has some value, if you are very pleased with my tapas, then let Sarve Sagarasya Atmajaha, all the sons of Sagara, so may they obtain Salilam Apnyuhu, Mattaha Salilam Apnyuhu, may they obtain or may they get Salilam. Salilam here is Tarpanam, you should take, may they get Tarpanam through me, Mattaha, through me may they get Tarpana, etc. So that is his wish. And then Gangaya Salila Klinne, so Gangaya Salila Klinne Bhasman Yesham Mahatmanam Swargam Gache Yuratyantam Sarvecha Prapitamahaha. So Sarvecha Prapitamahaha, all my Prapitamahas. So Prapitamahas means Pitamaha's father is called Prapitamaha, and Prapitamaha, etc. It goes like that. So Pita, Pitamaha, Prapitamaha, Prapitamaha, then Pituhu, Pitamaha, etc. Pituhu, Prapitamaha, it goes like that. So Sarve Prapitamaha means all my great grandfathers. So Gangayaha Sadila Klinne Bhasmani, Esham Bhasmani, Gangaya Sadila Klinne Mahatmanam Esham. So Esham Mahatmanam Bhasmani. So the ashes of these people, Gangaya Salila Klinne. So when the ashes of these great Mahatmas, my ancestors, Prapitamahas, so by the you know, by the touch of Ganga's water. So when they are wet, salila klinne means klinna, that is wet, become made wet by the waters of Ganga. So Gangayah salila klinne bhasmani. So Esham Mahatmanam bhasmani. So if that happens, then Swargam gacheyuhu atyantam. So they atyantam Swargam gacheyuhu. Atyantam here means, so Atyantam means, so what should I say, without any limit. So Akshayam, that's the meaning, Atyantam. So I thought I will just read that portion. So Atyantam, where did I mark that? Atyantam means Atyantam Antam Dhvansam Atikrantam Akshayam ityarthaha. So Antam Atikrantam iti Atyantam, like Atyashrami. So Ashramam Atikrantam Yena. So Atikrantam Ashramam Yena Saha Atyashrami, etc. Something. So Ashramam Atikramya Tishtati iti Atyashrami. So somebody who has risen above ashrama dharma, etc. Anyway, so here Atyantam also something like it, something that has risen above Antam or end. That is endless Swarga they should get. So may they obtain endless Swarga by Ganga waters immersing or touching their ashes. This is my vara. So Sarvecha Prapitamaha, all my great grandfathers, may they get that Akshaya, you know, Akshaya Swarga Loka. देव याचेह संतत्यै नावसीदेत् कुलञ्चनः इक्ष्वाकूणां कुले देव एष मेस्तु वरः परः. So aparaha varaha. So paraha varaha, that is another vara I am asking. And what is that vara? So ikshvakunam kule. So ikshvakunam kule jate aham. So ikshvakunam kule jatasya mama. So santatir deya. So he deva, he brahma. So ikshvakunam kule jataha mama. So you should add all those things. So santatyai paraha varaha. So for the sake of santati, I am asking another boon. So santatyai paraha varaha. That is for the sake of santati, that is lineage, my successors, etc. I am asking another vara. Yache varaha yache. What is that vara? So ikshvakunam kule jatasya mama navasidet kulam. So may my lineage never exhaust. That's the meaning. Navasidet kulanchanaha. So may our naha means our. So Ikshvaku's lineage. So may the lineage of Ikshvakus never exhaust. So why am I asking this? Ikshvakunam kule. So jataha. So because I am born in the lineage of Ikshvaku, I am asking for our lineage that it never be exhausted. Ikshvakunam kule jatasya mama santatihi deya yatha naha kulam navasidet. So that our kulam is never, or our lineage is never exhausted. So I am asking this for the sake of successors. Here Shiromani, no, here actually Tilakakara himself is telling etena purva paropakarita bhagirathasya darshite tyahuhu. So Tilakakara is telling, people say like that. So Tilakakara of these three is the most ancient of commentators. Before him it seems to be Katakakara was there. So he is telling, people explain by the shloka, people explain like this, that Bhagiratha was so compassionate that he asked for the welfare of people before him and then welfare of people after him also. That is for his Prapitamahas and also for his Santati. In the future also there should not be any Ikshvaku king who does not have any children. So he is not asking, mind you, look at the verse, he is not telling I should have son. He is saying this kulam should never have exhaustion. That is what he is telling. Ukta vakyam tu rajanam sarvaloka pitamaha pratyuvacha shubham vanim madhuram madhuraksharam. So ukta vakyam tu, so ukta vakyam rajanam, so to that Raja who spoke these words, sarvaloka pitamaha pratyuvacha. So the grandfather of everybody, that is Brahmaji, sarvaloka pitamaha pratyuvacha, he gave back a reply. How did he speak? Shubham vanim madhuram vanim madhuraksharam vanim pratyuvacha. So he spoke very auspicious word, Shubham Vanim. So auspicious means, so what Bhagiratha asks for, that he is giving. So it is auspicious for Bhagiratha. And then Madhuram Vanim, even the tone, etc. of Brahmaji was very sweet. And even the words that he used to convey the blessing, Madhuraksharam Vanim, even the words that he used to convey the blessing, even that was very sweet. Manoratho Mahanesha Bhagiratha Maharatha Evam Bhavatu Bhadram Te Ikshvaku Kulavardhana. So hey Ikshvaku Kulavardhana Bhagiratha. So hey Bhagiratha, who, you know, who uplifts the lineage of Ikshvakus, Manorathaha Mahaneshaha. So this thought of yours is very noble, Mahan. So Mahan Manorathaha. Manorathaha means thought. So Manas is running like a Ratha, you know, that is the meaning, Manorathaha. So Mahanesha. So Eshaha Manorathaha Mahan. It's a great thought that you have got, hey Bhagiratha, and you are yourself a Maharatha, hey Bhagiratha. Evam bhavatu, so may it happen so. Evam bhavatu means tathastu, may it happen like that. Bhadram te, may good happen to you. He Ikshvakulavardhana. Iyam haimavati jyeshtha ganga himavata suta tamvai dharayitum rajan harastatra niyujyatam. So he is telling iyam jyeshtha haimavati, that is this. So he is as though pointing out that she is close by. So this is the jyeshtha haimavati. Jyeshtha haimavati means the elder daughter of Himavan. So we have seen Ganga and Parvati, two daughters of Himavan. Jyeshtha Haimavati. This is Jyeshtha Haimavati, and her name is Ganga. And Himavata Suta, she is the son of Himavan. So Tam vai dharayitum rajan haras tatra niyujyatam. So Tam dharayitum tatra haraha niyujyatam. He Rajan, he Bhagiratha, to bear her. Dharayitum. Tam dharayitum vai, to definitely bear her. So haraha niyujyatam. So niyujyata means you employ, but here it means you pray to Hara, that Shiva. You pray to Shiva so that he can bear her on his head and then release Ganga, because he's going to say next, because this Prithvi cannot bear the the force through which Ganga will fall on it. So therefore you pray to Haraha, Shivaha, you do prayer and ask him, request him that he takes upon this Gangaji on him first. Gangayah patanam rajan prithvi na sahishyate tam vai dharayitum rajan nanyam pashyami shulinaha. So Gangayah patanam, he Rajan, he Bhagiratha, Gangayah patanam prithvi na sahishyate. This Prithvi cannot bear the fall of Ganga. Patanam is that avataranam, falling from Akasha, she has to fall on Bhuloka. That fall, this Prithvi cannot bear it. So therefore, tam vai dharayitum rajan, he Rajan, Shulinaha anyam napashyami. So I don't see any other person apart from the Shuli. Shuli means one who has a Shula in his hand. So apart from that Shuli Shankara, I don't see any other person who can bear it upon him. Is it clear? So I was just saying, apart from that Shuli Shankara, I don't see anybody else who can bear this Ganga on him while it is falling upon earth. And tameva muktva rajanam gangam chabhashya lokakrit jagama tridyam dehi sarvai sahamanugganaihi. So tam eva muktva, so having spoken the following words, so having spoken the words to Bhagavad, have spoken thusly. So rajanam tam rajanam eva muktva gangancha abhashya. So lokakrit means one who has created this entire world, that is Brahmaji. So Gangancha Abhasha, he spoke to Gangaji also. He says, hey Ganga Devi, now this Bhagiratha will invoke Shiva. When Shiva comes, then you start falling. Shiva will bear you and then release you on earth from his head, etc. So he spoke those things to this Gangaji also. When the time comes, you please start falling onto earth. He told that to Ganga also. Why did he have to say? Because he is Lokakrit. Valmiki say very nicely, he is putting, because unless he gives permission, Gangaji cannot do it perhaps, because he is Lokakrit, he is in charge of these things. So he is ordering Gangaji also, please do like this when Bhagiratha invokes Shiva. So having done all this, so Tridivam Jagama, he went back to Swargaloka. So Tridiva here, you should take Brahmaloka. Tridivam generally means Swargalokam, but here Brahma went back means, so you should take it as Brahmaloka. He went back to Brahmaloka. How did he go? Sarvaihi Devaihi Saha and Marudganaihi Saha, along with all the Devas and Marudganas. So he went back to Swargaloka. Along with all the Devas and Marudganas means it's not that Marudganas are not Devas. Marudganas are also Devas and Devatas are Devatas anyway. So how do you explain this? Sarvaihi Marudganaihi Saha Devaihi Saha. So Shiromani Kara is telling Brahmana Vasishtha Nyayena. That is Brahmana Vasishtha, if you are saying. So Vasishtha itself means he is Brahmana. But if you are saying Brahmana Vasishtha, just you are emphasizing these Marudganas, etc. That is one way. Or Tilakakara is very nicely saying Marudganaihi. So long back we said this, there are some Devatas who are always Devatas, and then there are Devatas who are Karma Devatas. Because of their Karma, they reach that state. So all the Ajana Devas and then Karma Devatas, along with all these Devatas, he went back to Swargaloka. इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकिये आदि काव्ये बालकांडे 24 सर्गः. So we finished 42nd verse. Just give me 5 or 10 more minutes. I will finish the 7-8 verses of the next sarga, because the next sarga is huge, 40 verses, and also there is a lot of commentary. So if I cover some ground now, maybe I can finish the sarga tomorrow when we start. Arthat Trichatvarimsha sargaha. So 43rd sarga. This is the actual Ganga Avatarana sarga, where Ganga will fall upon, on earth. So Deva Deve Gate Tasmin Swangushthagra Nipiditam Kritva Vasumatim Rama Vatsaram Samupasata. So hey Rama, so this Deva Devi Gate, when the Deva Deva Brahmaji Pitamaha, when he went back to Swargaloka, so Tasmin means the same place where he was doing that tapas. So Angushtagra Nipiditam Kritva. So Vasumatin Angushtagra Nipiditam Kritva. That is, he pressed. Vasumati means earth, and Nipidita means pressed. He pressed earth by his Angushtagra Matra. So Angushtagra. So Angushtagra means the tip of his toe, the toe. So the toe, his anti-Romanic are selling by left toe. So by just standing on one left toe, he performed so Vatsaram Samupasata. For 1 year he did tapas. Shiva is Ashutosha, we know very quickly he speaks. So in 1 year, Shivaji is it back? So Vatsaram Samupasata. So for 1 year, because Shiva is Ashutosha, in 1 year he was pleased and he came in front of Bhagiratha. So that he will tell later anyway. So for 1 year, this Bhagiratha, he stood on one toe and he did tapas for the sake of Shiva. Atha samvatsare purne sarvaloka namaskritah umapati pashupati rajanam idamabravit. So atha samvatsare purne, when 1 year was completed, so sarvaloka namaskritah, Sarvaloka Namaskritah, this Shiva who is worshipped by everybody, even Rakshasas worship Shiva, Devatas, Manushas, Rakshasas, everybody worship Shiva. So he's Sarvaloka Namaskritah. And then Umapatihi, he's the husband of Uma, and Pashupati, he's the lord of all living beings. So that Umapatihi, Pashupati, Rajanam idam abravi, to that Raja Bhagiratha, he spoke the following words. So by saying Umapatihi, Pashupati, so commentators are saying it is a dhvani to show that Shiva appeared along with Parvati Devi and Nandi also. That's why his Umapatihi, Pashupati, those adjectives are being used. Pritasteham narashrestha karishyami tava priyam shirasa dharayishyami Shailaraja sutamaham. So see, Shiva is so magnanimous, he didn't even wait for Bhagiratha to request. He himself is telling, I'm very happy with your tapas, hey Bhagiratha, so I will take upon Ganga by myself. So he's telling it by himself. So te aham pritaha, he narashrestha Bhagiratha, I am pleased by your tapas. So tava priyam karishyami, I will do whatever is, so what is pleased, so what is required for you, that I will do. And then Shirasa Dharayishyami. What is that? What is the Priya for Bhagiratha? To bear Ganga on his head. So Shiva should bear Ganga on his head. That I will do. Shirasa Dharayishyami Shailaraja Sutam Aham. So Aham Shailaraja Sutam Gangam Shirasa Dharayishyami. Tato Haimavati Jyeshtha Sarvaloka Namaskrita Tada Sati Mahadrupam Krtva Vegan Chadussaham Akashat Apatadrama Shive Shiva Shirasyuta. So Tataha Haimavati Jyeshtha. So thereafter, after Shiva spoke those words, and then some Gangaji, Brahmaji already told to Ganga that you should, so when the time comes when Shiva agrees, you should fall on the head. So therefore, Jyeshtha Haimavati, that elder daughter of Himavan, Sarvaloka Namaskrita, who is also worshipped by all, all living beings, Tada Sati Mahadrupam Krutva. So Tada, thereafter, she took a great, form, very huge form, that is huge flow she has to fall. Sati Mahadrupam, Ati Mahadrupsa, Ati Mahadrupam Krutva. So Mahadrupam means, I think, so Sati Mahadrupam Krutva, Vegancha Dussaham. So with a great speed, that is great, what should I say, force, Vegam here is force, which is not, which is something that cannot be easily tolerated, or it cannot be, what should I say, bore or something like that. So Dussaham Vegam Krutva, she assumed such a forceful form. And Akashat Apatat Rama. Hey Rama, Akashat Apatat. She fell from Akasha. Where did she fall? So Shiva Shirasyuta. So Shiva Shirasi. You can say. on the auspicious head of Shiva. So Shiva means auspicious, Shiva Shirasi means on the head of Shiva. You can say that way. That is Tilakakara's interpretation. Or Shiva Shirasi means she was falling, she was falling from top on Shiva's head, and as she was falling, she even correctly went and fell on Shiva's head only, not only just on Shiva. Shiva, she was falling. She was falling on Shiva, but then specifically not everywhere shoulders, etc. She was specifically falling on Shiva's head also. Shiva Shirasi Uta. Uta means also and on Shiva's head she fell, and then after falling, Achintayaccha sa Devi Ganga Paramadurdhara Vishamyaham hi Patalam Srotasa Grihya Shankaram. So Achintayat sa Devi, sa Ganga Devi, that Ganga Devi Achintayat. So she thought like this. What did she think? Paramadurdhara, she was somebody who was very difficult to bear, that kind of Ganga Devi. She thought like this. What did she say? So Aham Srotasa Shankaram Grihya Patalam Vishami. So with my force, with my speed, I will take this Shankara also and wash him away up to Patala. So I will go to Patala, but as even I am going, I will wash this Shankara also into Patala. As she was falling, she thought like that. She had some great pride that I am falling with so much force that I will wash away even this Shankara Shiva into Patala. So that is one way. Or Shiromani Kara is telling it's just play. So Gangaji wanted to play with Shiva, and Shiva also said, okay, let me also play along with this Ganga sport, etc. Anyway, this Garvam seems to be right, because later he's telling Avalepanam, etc. Avalepanam means pride. So Ganga ji had this pride that I am coming by great force, so I will wash away the Shankara also to Patalam. So Tasyavalepanam Jnatva Kruddhastu Bhagavan Haraha Tirobhavayitum Buddhim Chakre Trinayanastada. So Trinayanaha means that Shankara, who has 3 eyes, what did he do? So Tasya Avalepanam Jnatva. So having known her pride, Kruddhaha Bhagavan Haraha. Kruddhastu Bhagavan Haraha. Bhagavan Haraha Shivaha Kruddhaha. He was also angry. Oh, this Gangaji is having it. Okay, so Shiva thought, I will teach her a lesson. So Tiro Bhavayitum Buddhim Chakre. So Buddhim Chakre, he made up his decision. What did he decide to do? Tiro Bhavayitum. So I will hide her. So I will hide her so that she does not even come out of my head or hair. Forget going up to Patala. So Tiro Bhavayitum Buddhim Chakre. So Sa Tasmin Patita Punya Punye Rudrasya Murthani Imavat Pratimera Majata Mandalagahvare Sa Kathanchin Mahim Gantum Nashaknod Yatnamasthita. So we stop it here, but let's just finish this shloka. So Sa, that Ganga Devi, Tasmin Patita, Sa Punya, so Tasmin Patita. So that Punya, very auspicious Ganga Devi. So Tasmin Patita, she was falling there. While she was falling there, so where was she falling? Punye Rudrasya Murdhani. Rudrasya Murdhani means on the head of Rudra, which is a very auspicious place by itself. So while she was falling on that auspicious head of Shiva, Himavat Pratime Rama, and that head was so huge, like it was itself like Himavan, Himavat Pratime Rama. So hey Rama, that Himavat Pratime Murdhani, on that head of Shiva, which was huge like Himalayas, Jatamandala Gahvare. Gahvara means Guha. So that Guha, like, so that Jatamandala Shiva formed like a cave, so that he can trap Ganga water there and not allow it to fall out. So Jatamandala Gahvare Sa Kathanchin Mahim Gantum Nashaknod Yatnamasthita. So Sa, that Ganga Devi, so Kathanchin Mahim Gantum Nashaknod. So she could not in any way come out of those locks of the hair and fall on the earth. Mahim Gantum Nashaknod. That is, she could not go to the earth. So she could not fall on earth. Forget about going up to Patala. And Yatnamasthita. She made great efforts to come out of those locks, matted locks, but she could not come out of that locks because Shiva locked her into that hair and did not allow her to flow away, because she had that pride that I will wash even Shiva also with my force to Patala Loka. So we will stop here, and later we will finish tomorrow then this Sarga. What is going to happen next is, then Bhagiratha will do once more, he will do tapas and he will plead Shiva, please release her, etc. He will release. I just wanted to tell 2 things here. One is 2 related things. I know I'm already late on time, but yeah, I will just take 2-3 minutes. There is a very nice, because so Patalam, so Gangaji is telling, I will go up to Patala by washing away Shiva. In our school, we used to have this, in our Telugu textbook, I remember, we used to have this Padyam. I think it is from Subhashita. So the Bhartrhari Subhashitas were translated into Telugu by a great poet long back. He's not somebody new. So by a poet by name Enugu Lakshmana Kavi. So he's very famous in Telugu literature for translating Bhartrhari Subhashitas into Telugu. So that Subhashita we had in school textbook, I remember, and I'm telling you. So Akashambuna nundi Shambhuni Shiram Vandundi Shitadri శుశ్లోకంబైన హిమాద్రి నుండి భువి భూలోకమునందుండి అస్తోకాంబోధి పయోధి నుండి పవనాంధోలోకమున్ చేరే గంగాకూలంకష పెక్కు భంగులు వివేక భ్రష్ట సంపాతముల్. This was the poem. So to just summarize, what it means is this Ganga Devi. So the fall of Ganga, Bhartrhari or Enugu Lakshmana Kavi. Enugu Lakshmana Kavi is just translating the shloka. So Bhartrhari compares this fall of Ganga into how a Viveka Bhrashta, so somebody who has lost his Viveka, how his fall will be. So Ganga's fall, he's comparing the fall of a Viveka Bhrashta with the fall of Ganga. See, Gangaji started with Akasha. So Akashambuna nundi Shambhuni Shiramu. Yeah, 9th class or something. So maybe it was not maybe it was in first language Telugu textbook, and then I liked it and I remembered, I think. So Akashambuna nundi Shambhuni Shiramu. So from Akasha she fell on Shambhu's head. Andundi Shitadri, from Shambhu's head she fell on Shitadri Himalayas. Shuslokambaina Himadri nundi Bhuvi, from that Himalaya which is very auspicious, very well praised. Shushlokamu means very well praised. So Shuslokambaina Himadri nundi Bhuvi, from that Himalayas she fell to the earth, that is on plains. Bhulokamunundi Astokambudhi, from earth she went into oceans. And then Payodhi nundi Pavanandholokamun jere. So from that Payodhi, from ocean, she went even further down up to Patala. So like this, so very complete comprehensive fall. So Pekku Bhangulu Viveka Bhrashta Sampatamul. So the fall of Viveka Bhrashta takes so many forms, so many ways. Ultimate fall is she went up to Patala Loka. She started from Akasha and went up to Patala Loka. Like this Viveka Bhrashta also falls like that, Bhartrhari says. And then this shloka, why I actually stopped here is this shloka and the next shloka are two upasana, upasana forms for Ravana, or whoever is it that wrote Shiva Tandava Stotram. It may not have been the Ravana that we see in Ramayana, but there is a Ravana Krita Shiva Tandava Stotram. So the second shloka of that Shiva Tandava Stotram is what we have seen in today's class. So what is the second shloka? Jata Kataha Sambhrama Brahman Nilimpa Nirchari Vilola Vichi Vallari Virajamana Murdhani Dhagat 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 Jwalal Lalata Patta Pavake Kishora Chandra Shekhare Rati Pratikshanam Mama. So Mama Ratihi Pratikshanam Ratihi. So my mind always takes delight in that Kishora Chandra Shekhare. So in that person, in that somebody, some ex who has a very small, so Kishora Chandra means a small, that Rekha only, not a full moon, but small moon. Kishora Chandra Shekhare. So he who has that small Kishora Chandra on his head, in him, my mind always attains Rati. And he is also, so Dhagat Jwalal Lalata Patta Pavake. So he has this fire on his forehead, which is burning. Dhaga. So in Telugu also we say Dhaga Mandutundi. So dhagat, that fire is burning like that as we're making that sound. And then more importantly, the first two lines is just what Valmiki has described now. So Jata Kataha. Kataha means a huge cauldron. So that Jata of Shiva has become like a cauldron on his head. Jata Kataha Sambhrama Brahman Nilimpa Nirchari. Nilimpa Nirchari means a Deva Ganga, Suradhuni. Nilimpa Nirchari. It is, it is, what should I say? Tindadar we say in Tamil. So it is, what should I say? It is struggling to somehow get released from that locks. So that Ganga is struggling on Shiva's forehead in that cauldron of Shiva's matted locks, and that is as though forming Lata on Shiva's head. So Jata Kataha Sambhrama Brahman Nilimpa Nirchari Vilola Vichi Vallari. So her wave, that when Ganga is struggling like that, her waves or whatever her, what should I say, those tarangas, etc. So that is forming as though some creepers on Shiva's head. So in that Shiva, so Vilola Vichi Vallari Virajamana Murdhani. So that Murdhana here, so that Phala Pradesha or the forehead of Shiva. So in that Shiva, my mind always takes delight, etc. I just thought I will tell that. And the releasing of Shiva, of Ganga by Shiva, that is in the first shloka of Shivakandava Stotram, that if we have time tomorrow, we will see. I know I have taken extra time today. We have started also late, but I just thought I will finish this sarga and some shlokas so that in tomorrow's class we can finish this sarga again. Okay, so I stop here. After this, if you have anything, you can ask. ओम यत्र यत्र रघुनाथ कीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतं मस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम तत्सत् श्रीरामार्पणमस्तु।